Hey everybody, welcome to our VectorVest YouTube channel. My name is Glenn Tompkins, and today we're going to talk about a stock that I've done a few videos on that people were looking for a follow-up on. That is Tonix Pharmaceuticals, ticker symbol TNXP. Well, they've got some bad news, but can they pivot? That's the question. If you want to see more about what I found out, you sit right there. Hey everybody, Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always love bringing these videos to your attention. If you're brand new to the channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel, help it grow. Hit the bell icon so that you will be alerted to when new content like this comes out. And big time, don't forget to smash that like button. All right, with that going on, let's get right into it. So, Tonix Pharmaceuticals, I've been talking about this stock. It's been out there for the purposes of going aggressively after fibromyalgia, one of the few drugs out there that is effectively doing that. So here's the first new article. Tonix Pharmaceuticals to stop enrollment on phase 3 rally study of the TNX 102SL. Uh-oh, what does that mean?
It does not look good.
Tonix Pharmaceuticals announced that the company has decided to stop enrollment of the phase 3 rally study of TNX 102SL 5.6 milligram for the management of fibromyalgia, following the unblinded pre-planned interim analysis by the Independent Data Monitoring Committee of rally study. Based on the interim analysis, the results of the first 50% enrolled participants in the IDMC recommended stopping the trial. Why? For futility, as TNX 102SL is unlikely to demonstrate a statistically significant improvement in the primary endpoint of overall change from the baseline in daily diary pain severity scores between those treated with the drug and those receiving a placebo. So my videos were talking about them going after fibromyalgia, and now they're no longer doing it because they didn't see it as effective. Man, Glenn did all of these videos, now what? Well, I got more. Let's next thing go to Motley Fool story. This came out yesterday. Is there any hope for Tonix Pharmaceutical stock? Goes down. Unexpectedly, poor clinical trial results tend to severely damage share prices of biotech, which is absolutely true. The other side of it is, what else do they have in the pipeline? As long as there's cash in the bank and pipeline programs in progress, biopharma companies can recover from disaster. And this is where the pivot's going to come in. So I'm going to scroll down in the story, talk about what went wrong. And again, what went wrong? Tonix reported that phase 3 trials of its leading pipeline candidate would stop enrolling new patients with fibromyalgia as a result of worse than expected interim analysis. The trial's Independent Data Monitoring Committee recommended the halt, citing insufficient benefit to patients beyond what they'd expect with a placebo. All right, let's go down a little bit. Is there anything on the horizon, or is there a rally on the horizon? Let's go to the next paragraph. Specifically, it has been interesting portfolio of early stage coronavirus medicines that they're looking at now. While its 2 coronavirus vaccines candidate may struggle to gain market share by the time of their approval, assuming that they get that far, Tonix therapies for acute coronavirus infections and long COVID could fill much needed gaps in the treatment landscape. Nonetheless, though, another piece of importance. It's important to recognize that the pandemic might well be over before some of these programs make it through the clinical trials process, unless the business can secure a regulatory clearance for an accelerated pace of development. Well, we still have the project in hand for the emergency use through the government for the vaccines. Could Tonix get on that list for emergency use, along with the Pfizer-BioNTech drug, the Moderna drug. Remember, AstraZeneca never made it, and Johnson & Johnson is still on hold. Now, there's a lot of other companies out there going after the vaccine as well. Could Tonix be too late to the party, or could they be accelerated, or could they, could it still happen? But wait, there's more. So now, what else? Tonix Pharmaceutical announces groundbreaking ceremony for Massachusetts R&D factory. Bingo! They're trying to accelerate their ability to get to vaccine faster than they think that they can. This is going to be big news. This just came out today, and they are groundbreaking tomorrow on a new 45,000 square foot clinical scale manufacturing facility in the New Bedford Business Park in Massachusetts. This could be their pivot point. But wait, there's still more. Earnings are coming out on August 9th. Zacks analysts expect Tonix Pharmaceuticals Holding will announce an earnings of negative 7 cents per share. That sounds bad, but it may not be as bad as you think. Equities research analysts that Tonix Pharmaceuticals will post negative 7 cents earnings per share for the current fiscal year, according to Zacks, have provided Now, Tonix Pharmaceuticals posted earnings per share of negative 23 cents in the same quarter last year, which suggests a positive year-over-year growth of 69.6%. So it may be negative, but maybe it's becoming in less negative. So now let's talk about that. Let's get into the software and let's go take a look at the program. Now, from the program perspective, here's the stock. I'm getting pumped up for this because this still could have some possibilities. Maybe, maybe not. You decide. I'm going to report. You're going to decide. So here's Tonix trading at 71 cents with a value of 47 cents. Stock is overvalued. Here at VectorVest, we want you to be in safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price in a rising market. So this is an overvalued stocks. Let's look at the VectorVest analysis though. Relative value that looks at a stock's long-term upside potential on a scale between 0 and 2. This stock is below the value of 1. Its upside potential is not there. This stock should not outperform a AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years. Relative safety is an indicator of risk on that same scale between 0 and 2, below 1. This is a risky stock. So currently looking at the fundamentals, the upside potential, and the risk factor, this is still a speculative play. Relative timing that tells me if a stock is in an uptrend or not. Below the value of 1, the stock is not only in a downtrend, it's way at the lower spectrum. The stock is down, 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 and it's a sell. Now, we have an earnings per share, remember, negative 28 cents. It's got an earnings growth rate, though, of 8% to the positive. I decided to take this a step further. I'm going to right-click on the stock, and I want to look at the historical data. Now, we've got historical data that looks at all of our indicators. I'm going to change it from intraday to end of day, and I'm going to show you a couple of things. Now, don't take it that I'm being bullish on the stock or bearish on the stock. I'm just showing you the analysis so that you can see it. Biggest thing I see here, the market cap is falling. This is on an end-of-day basis looking at the whole year. Notice that market cap is falling. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Average volume and volume have been pretty steady throughout the whole time period. Now, let's look at our indicators. Remember, we had a relative value of 0.86 below the value of 1, but looking at it over the last year, our relative value has been gaining traction. So the stock still got a relative value below 1, but it's getting better even though the stock is falling. What else? Relative safety, the indicator of risk, also rising over the last year as well. As you see, the number is getting better. It's becoming less riskier of a stock. So the upside potential is growing. The risk is getting less riskier, but the stock is still in a downtrend. It's a sell recommendation. Now let's talk about the earnings per share. Watch, the earnings per share was down negative 29, 29, 29, 28. It's gotten better by 1 cent over the last few months, a couple of months or so. So I'm thinking that the earnings per share might be in line with that negative 7, but even if it is, that means that it's a lot better than what it was coming into the current earnings, which means it could be getting better. if that's something that you're interested in. So let's take one last look at the stock by looking at the graph. I'm going to right-click on the graph, view the stock graph. Let me pull this over. There it is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This has been a tough stock to be in. And I'm looking at it from a trade perspective, looking at the 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages. I am looking at support and resistance. I'm looking at relative timing. The relative timing is starting to pull up a little bit, not enough for me to get all excited about. The 3 and the 8 are still negative. The 3 is below the 8. 8 is the red line. But I am liking that the stock is coming off of a level of support and consolidating. Maybe the news and the pivot to more of a coronavirus focus could be the news that turns the stock around, because they're no longer going after fibromyalgia. The stock is still a sell. I'd like to see the 3 and the 8 cross. I'd like to see it go above this level of resistance of 94 cents. If I'm not in the stock right now, I'm not ready to buy the stock. If you're going to be aggressive because of the news, I would especially wait for the 3 exponential moving average to go above the 8. So there it is, folks. That's the follow-up story on TNXP. It was hot and heavy going after fibromyalgia. Now that stopped. Now they've pivoted to go after the coronavirus vaccine. They've got a new facility to accommodate that. Could that be the news to turn it around? I am not going to say yay or nay. I'm going to let the stock talk to me. I'm going to let the stock come to me before I pull the trigger on it. It's been a tough play ever since I started recording about it. But right now, this could be breathing new life into the company. Only time will tell. So, folks, this video is over. And until the next time, folks, see ya.